Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol silver rums. And this one is from 1939. Well, okay, Albertsons, the grocery chain, is from 1939. But I guess they could have been doing private label rum in 1939. I mean, they did have liquor companies back then, but I really don't know if that was the case. Got this midnight blue label with silver rum on it. Obviously, it's produced for Albertsons grocery chain, which is currently in litigation with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is suing Albertsons because they're trying to prevent their merger with Kroger. You know, in the land of the free, you're not really free to do what you want with your business. But that's another story. This is a product of the United States Virgin Islands, as you can see on the label. Now, what big distillery is in the Virgin Islands? Well, one of the big distilleries on St. Croix is Cruzan Distillery, Cruzan International Distillery. So, excuse me. Is it possible that Sazerac, now it says County Line Distillers, but hate to tell you, but County Line Distillers is an alias for Sazerac, which they have like about 100 aliases. But could they have done an agreement where Cruzan produces this for them? It's possible. I really don't know. It could be at the I think there's another one in the Virgin Islands called I know there is. It's called is that the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico? It's Virgin Islands, right? It's Captain Morgan Distillery. You've heard of Captain Morgan, probably. I thought this was discontinued. I said, man, this is gone. It's no longer made because all the Albertsons blended whiskey, the Albertsons Canadian whiskey, the Albertsons gin, and all of that stuff, like it was all gone, and they replaced it with different like still alias names, but like making names like Kings Bay rum and Canadian Crest, Canadian whiskey, because Albertsons had merged with a bunch of other stores, and so like Jewel Osco and Super Value and all of this. But I was at Albertsons just this month, or was it late last month? But it was recent. I mean, like literally, because we're on the 10th, the 11th day. I mean, it might have been 12 days ago, but it was on the shelves. These bottles and the little 100 milliliters, or is it 200 milliliters? These are $3.75, but they had these, and it was a bunch of bottles. It wasn't like a couple left over. The shelf had clearly been restocked behind the customer service. They put these kind of bottles back there, and they don't want people stealing them. We got thievery problems in the United States. Mr. R says, evening to you. So I said, well, it just goes to show you that they still make it. I don't think they got a warehouse full of this stuff. Mr. R says, the greatest beer liquor channel in the world. Oh, thank you. So this is what it is. I bought two bottles of this. Now look, the price is so low. I paid $2.99 for this. No, it was $3.99. So that's $4. 4 and 4 is 8. So $7.98 for a full size bottle. You know what? I think it was $2.99. It was $2.99. So 3 and 3 6. So it was $5.90. It was $5.98 for a full size. I bought two halves make a whole. It's better to buy, they probably used to have the big jugs. Maybe they're just phasing it out. But how long is it going to take to phase it out? 10 years? But that's cool. You stay consistent in your uploads and live streams, which I respect. Oh, thank you. I try to. Now here's the competitor. I don't know when it was introduced. Hey, look, this might have been 1939 because I think Calypso rum has been around a long time, but I could not find a trademark date. And I looked, believe me, I didn't just look for 2 minutes. I was looking for a long time. But there's the current label of Calypso Silver rum. Yeah, they've changed the label many times over the years. It looks like now the current label is showing like a Mrs. Captain Morgan or Miss Captain Morgan. Calypso Silver, obviously. She's got a treasure chest, a sword. She's got her hand on her hip like she looks kind of like Reba McEntire, really, with long hair. But anyway, I don't think it's Reba McEntire. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty obvious what they're trying to do, a female Captain Morgan. But then on the back of the bottle, there's a whole story about Calypso, the Greek goddess who trapped Odysseus and other men. Well, that's interesting, Greek mythology. But what has it got to do with a British, English trading ship from the 1700s, or in this? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. You say, well, it's got to do with the ocean. Yeah, that's true. So there's Calypso, the Greek goddess from mythology, and this woman on the front, which there's no way she has anything to do with Calypso, the Greek goddess. And I don't know. It's just comical that it would be so poorly. It's not a bad looking label. I'm not saying, but it's just like they would not. You don't think about that. Then there's a map of Europe, but not Greece. There's Turkey, Russia, Sweden, Norway, the British Isles, France, Germany. What does that say? Poland. So small I can't read it. Romania. I don't know. It's insane. So y'all better get on y'all's people. Sazerac, y'all better get on your people and tell them to make better labels, or call me and I will help you make better labels for a fee, of course. Labels that make sense. I'm not saying the label is bad. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, it would be like a bottle called Titanic, but it was showing a helicopter. And they had the story on the back about the Titanic, but then they showed a helicopter on the front. And you could say, well, it's the same thing. They were all outside. One was in the water, one was in the air. They were outside. That's true. They weren't inside. So why did I buy Calypso? 2 reasons. That was one of the rums that people kept asking me about again and again, numerous times. If you look in the comments, I don't know how you'd find that out, but they kept asking, when are you going to do Calypso rum? And I was like, I don't even know what that is. I said, but maybe I heard of it. But it seemed like a name that be like a name that somebody would use for a rum, But 2 years ago, I went to Houston, Texas. Why? To just do something, like a little trip. And I went to a liquor store and did some. I didn't do any beer shopping, honestly. I went on I went into a national wildlife refuge. I got pretty deep in there, but then I was like, man, I better get out of here. This is like getting like further and further in, and I was like, I don't want to get lost. It was pretty muddy there, and it was like getting more and more like water and less trail, and I was getting pretty rugged. And it wasn't hilly or anything; it was flat, but it was just like, I better get out of here. So I would backtrack, and I went to eat Mexican food, and then of course, you in Texas, you're going to eat Tex-Mex, right? And then I was heading back, got back on U.S. Highway 90. Because 90 is one of the big roads between Beaumont and Houston. And I went to, well, I did, no, I did do some beer shopping. Yeah, a little bit. I didn't really see anything. It was like the same stuff as here. I was like, I ain't seen anything interesting. But I went to a college baseball game in the middle of Houston at the park, and that was nice. And then I went to the hotel, and then I went back home the next day. But so on when I went to Houston, I was in a part of town called the Fifth Ward, and I was on a street called Lyons Street or Lyons Avenue. I don't remember. It's a prominent boulevard or avenue or street, like I say. And they had a place I had looked up on the internet called Ralston's Liquors, Ralston's, and I was like, I don't know anything about this place, but the reviews seem good, and I'm gonna check it out. It's not far off the interstate. Oh yeah, and I did go to St. Arnold Brewery. What am I thinking? I went to St. Arnold Brewery and took a tour, and it was very nice. And it used to be the Houston School Administration, the Houston Independent School District coal storage unit. It's where they would store all the coal stuff for the whole district. And they didn't need it anymore. They might have built a new one. And so St. Arnold bought it probably for cheap. And it was good for them because they had all the equipment that you would need to store coal stuff. So that was cool. And then I tried different beers there at the brewery. And then I went down into Houston and went to the game. All right. Which was Texas Southern University hosting Prairie View A&M. Yeah, Prairie View A&M. Two state colleges, state universities, And they had a pretty good crowd, actually. Okay, can you read the back of the bottle paragraph? I'd like to hear it. No problem if not. Well, it's pretty long. I don't think I better read all that. Oh, well, I guess it's not as long as I thought. It says Calypso Silver is inspired by the story of Calypso, the sea nymph from Greek mythology. Daughter of Atlas, Calypso roamed the islands in search of her next great lover. When the great warrior Odysseus washed ashore after a shipwreck, Calypso took him as her lover and promised him immortality if he would stay with her. When he refused, she held him prisoner. I don't know why they put that in quotes. Prisoner, quote unquote. I don't know the story. I don't read all that stuff. For 7 years before releasing him. The rest of the story is lost at sea. Wow. Greek mythology, but yet Captain Morgan on the front. Lady Captain Morgan, I guess I'd call it. Okay, yeah, it makes no sense. All right, so anyway, that brings me back to the story. When I was at Ralston Liquors, I'm walking around. It was a really nice, well-maintained store, and they had this on the shelf, this and Calypso Gold. So Calypso Silver and Calypso Gold. And the price was $5.89. Not plastic bottles either, glass. $5.89. I said, oh, well, even if it's bad, it's a good deal, So, we have attempted to bring the spirit of Calypso to life with premium silver. We believe you will find it as alluring and seductive as its namesake. Be careful, though. Don't Calypso and drive. 750 milliliters. Rum with natural flavors. Okay, rum with natural flavors. So what they are, we do not know, and we're not going to find out, although we could probably make a pretty good guess. And there's just pure rum from the Virgin Islands. All right, so that's all I know. Astral Dark says, wonder what they meant by prisoner. I don't know. Her intoxicating siren allure had him prisoner. I know, it's like they're trying to allude to him, a prisoner of his attraction to her, but he wanted to leave. I don't know. I don't even care about Odysseus. I'm not saying you should not read Greek mythology. I'm saying personally, I don't care about it, but I'm not trying to be a negative person saying, oh, that's a bunch of fiction. But actually, it is a bunch of fiction. All right. But this is not fiction. This is no dream. This is really happening. All right. Rosemary. Okay. I can't hear you. You're in Dubrovnik. Uh, yeah, it smells like typical, like pretty typical silver rum. I'm not saying it as a good or bad assessment comment. I'm just saying that's what it smells like. Just normal silver rum. A little bit sugar cane stalks and some sugar and liquor. It's 40% alcohol, but it's all right. It smells all right. Which one is it? I don't know. Probably the Albertsons. All right. Woo. A lot more sugarcane stalky. Um, when I did the solo review, yet to be posted, but it's coming. When I did the solo review in the backyard, I was thinking, "Whoa, this thing is really strong on the sugarcane stalks." And the back note, and it's not so far back, really, is a strong alcohol presence. It's just like 40% alcohol, and here it is. It's right there in your face, in your mouth, in your throat, in your tummy. Now, I was like, yikes. I couldn't say that it was bad per se or offensive. It was just present. You know what I mean? Like it was pretty alcoholic. Now, why are they adding natural flavor? I don't know. Probably to mask certain things. That's probably why it's $5.89 a bottle. On the other hand, if you read the regulations for rum, the U.S. government regulations for rum, you're allowed to add natural flavorings and color, caramel color. Obviously, you wouldn't do that for silver rum. You want to keep it clear, but you're allowed to add flavorings and coloring, and you don't have to disclose it. You can just do it and not say anything and let people figure it out. But Sazerac at least is telling you they're doing it. They're telling you. Now, could this have flavoring? This other one? It could. There's nothing about it. But knowing Sazerac, and I've had a lot of experience with their products, as we've seen, they usually will say, it just say it with natural flavors. So they don't appear to be trying to hide it. And so I would think that if they say it, then it's got it. And if they don't say it, then it doesn't have it. Short and Stout, live from Australia, says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you, Short and Stout, on yesterday for you. It's still today for me, but it's tomorrow for you, right? Haha. It was Commonwealth Day yesterday. Still Commonwealth Day here for 6 hours and 16 minutes longer, which is not an American holiday, obviously, but it's a holiday in Canada. And well, it depends on the country if they want to make it a holiday. But in Canada, it is a holiday. And they have to fly the British flag from all the government buildings from dawn to dusk. I read that on the Canadian Senate website just a little while ago, the Senate of Canada. It's a law, not an option. But let's move on. Bumbu rum is good stuff. Different experience each time with how it's made. Oh yeah, I see that. That's like a spice rum, correct? I see that at Walmart. It's like a round bottle with the X thing on it. See that? Haven't had it, but I see it. Okay, taste time. Cheers. Cheers to you, the viewer. And cheers to all you Commonwealth of Nations viewers on Commonwealth Day 2024. I'm not making fun of that. Actually, I'm not. I respect holidays. Well, most of them. I should say I respect many holidays. Okay. Yes, it's true. They mix in different age rums, some 15 plus years. Really? That long? Wow. Cheers. Drinking Le Fin du Monde from Unibrew. It's not the end of the world, you know. I like their beers. This one is very sweet. Has a dry finish, but it's sweet in the flavor. It tastes like sugar. Well, it should taste like sugar. It's made from sugar or molasses, a sugar extract, a sugar byproduct. That's what you call it. Um, I like it. I like it. It's medium bodied. It's nice. It's easy going. It's mellow. It's mild. It's a good product. You say you can't get a good rum for no $5.89 a bottle, $5.99 a bottle. You can't. It's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, as evidenced by what I've got right here and now. Yeah, this one's drier. Whoa. It has a little bit more that alcohol in it. Yeah, we had a public holiday yesterday called Labor Day. Labor Day, not Commonwealth Day. Okay, well, you can't have too many holidays. Some people got to go to work eventually. Yeah, Labor Day. We have that in September. First Monday in September. Yeah, Labor Day. Of course, we don't have Commonwealth Day, but we have like President's Day. Okay. It might have some vanilla flavoring added. That's what it seems to have, but I don't really know. It's a pretty strong alcohol boost right there. Whoa. Whoa. Alcohol all the way. I don't know. You might find it kind of bitey, a little rough cut. It's a little bit like that. It didn't get an ideal score when I did the review, but it didn't get a terrible score. This is much sweeter. It doesn't have that alcohol bump up. You don't get the alcohol flavor on this. You just get sweet sugar cane and a smooth body. It's like smooth, like just like if you felt something that was smooth, and and a dry finish. It's mostly dry finish. So it's very mild and mellow and easygoing. And I think it's the Albertsons. And if I had a choice, I would buy the Albertsons, especially considering they're the same price. They're both under $6. Can you imagine that? I don't know about Australia, but in the United States, you can still buy a full size bottle of rum for less than $6. Now, after you pay tax, it might be $6.60. Now, remember, this is a half size bottle, but I can get two of them and it still will be less than $6. Two halves make a whole. I think we learned that in math class. Astral Dust says, is that Albertsons rum from the store chain or just the same name? No, it's literally from the store chain. I went to Albertsons and I bought the Albertsons rum. I really did. And I bought the Albertsons Canadian blended whiskey, but it's all gone now. And I bought the Albertsons American blended whiskey. It's all gone. And I bought the rum. And I bought the Albertsons brandy, right? Yeah, the brandy is gone. And I bought the well, it was a whole line. Like it was a whole everything, like any liquor you could think of, vodka, so forth. They had the Albertsons name. And then all of a sudden, one by one, you didn't see them. You didn't see them. You saw something like, like they didn't have Albertsons rum on the regular shelf, but they had, I'm talking about the regular bottle size shelf where you could just pull it off the shelf on your own. In Louisiana, you could get liquor off the shelf like at a grocery store if you were buying breakfast cereal, or ramen noodles. It's just right on the shelf. You just put it in the shopping cart. Okay, but this disappeared, and then they had Kings Bay rum. Then the Albertsons tequila disappeared, but then all of a sudden they had Bandolero, and the Canadian whiskey disappeared, Albertsons Canadian whiskey, but then all of a sudden they had Canadian Crest, and then same thing with bourbon. Oh no, they didn't have the Albertsons blended whiskey disappeared, and then all of a sudden you start seeing 75 South. So I think they're just phasing it out. But like I said, I saw brand new bottles over there at Albertsons, new, a bunch, a lot. The whole shelf was packed. I'm talking about in customer service. Oh wow, haha, yeah, it's true, Albertsons. Yeah, but I think that's Probably eventually it won't be around, but I could be wrong because, like I said, that shelf was restocked. The customer service shelf, you know, the little bottles. Anything less than 750 is going to be behind the counter where you can't grab it. They got to get it for you. Because you know what would happen if they had a bottle this size on the shelf. You got thieves. People are thieves. Some people are thieves. Some people are thieves. They just like you couldn't pay for that. I'm definitely going to side with the Albertsons rum on this one. All the way for Albertsons. Looks legit. The HEBs here in Texas tried making a beer and vodka both under a brand Frio, but never really took off. Didn't try myself. Don't they still make Frio? I bought Frio Light and I bought the Frio 6%. Now this was 2018 now. Uh or 2019, I can't remember. But it was more than those years. It was more than it was like Frio Light, and I thought it tasted bad. And they had the Frio 6%. Now, I didn't like it. It was the malt liquor. I didn't like it. Now my friend David said, "This stuff's good. What are you talking about? It's good." I said, "Well, you think it's good? I don't think it's good, okay?" I think they do. Oh, they still make it. Yeah. Because I remember any HEB, we were at the HEB in Brownsville, Texas. There it was, Frio. Okay. And it was made by City Brewing. And I didn't like it. Okay. This is the Albertsons. Wrong. Crazily enough, this is the Calypso. Now I'm really shocked. I'm actually stunned. Now, in my defense, I've only tried this once before in my life, and that was when I did the solo review. So I didn't really have any experience with it. This one I already did a half size bottle. It's gone, and now I'm getting into this half size. So we're getting through it. We're getting through it. But I thought for sure I would recognize these flavors. Yeah, this one seems to have more of the alcohol screaming at it out of the glass. I'm not gonna say either one is garish too much, but I was saying I'm gonna take the Albertsons, but guess what? It was the Calypso, and I got it wrong. So okay, Calypso wins. So it's the Calypso that won, and the price, like I said, the price is the same. So, but it's so cheap. Why not just buy both, right? And try both. But yeah, okay, fair enough. I got it wrong. That's 0 wins, 1 loss. But I got a lot of these white rums to go through. It's not going to be a quick thing. It's going to take probably to the end of the month. So yeah, all right. I'm going to try to do other Sazerac brands. I've got Skull, not from 1939, but 1956. Skull dry white. It is dry. It's not white. It's clear. See, white is like that box. That's white. Clear is this. So you can see through it. It's clear. So I don't know why they call it white rum when it doesn't have a color. It's clear. Oh well, maybe they got confused. Okay. They even make Captain Morgan white, but it's not white. It's clear. The label's white with colors, red, white, and blue, and silk gold. But anyway, so I got Skull. I've got doggone Ron Pontalba, an old Sazerac brand that was reformatted in 1989, but I think it goes back to maybe 1889, no joke. And then I've got oh man, Caliber, which I'll never confuse this with Caliber. That's not possible. Caliber, it stands on its own. No one will ever confuse Caliber rum with anything else in the world because it doesn't taste like anything else in the world. And then we'll close it out with what's that last rum I have from Sazerac? Oh yeah, Ron. Cane Run. Cane Run. Now Cane Run. When Robert the Whiskey Scout came to Louisiana, he said, "I never heard of Cane Run. What is that?" I say, it's been around a little while here, and it's pretty popular. A lot of stores carry Cane Run. Oh, you never heard of it? I went to Winn Dixie just the other day. There it was, Cane Run, different bottle sizes. So, but of course, the Sazerac headquarters is only 30 miles from here, so it could have something to do with it. Their headquarters is 30 miles from my house, so we might get a lot of their stuff that you don't get since we so close. But okay, so the winner is the Calypso. Here is Calypso, and then I'm going to shut the light off. I don't need these lights anymore because we're shutting it down. So there's Calypso rum. If you want to buy it and you don't know where to find it, you can call the company. They'll tell you. They'll just tell you on the phone. If they'll tell you where, they'll say, "What's your address?" They'll type it in and they'll tell you in less than 2 minutes the closest place to your house. Of course, it might be 200 miles away, but they'll tell you. They'll definitely tell you. And they open early. I think they open at 8 o'clock Eastern in the morning. So if you live in California, I think you can like call them at 5 in the morning, and they'll be open and they'll tell you. Burley Cellar, yep, a 0-1 in 1 loss. I'm sorry I lost, but I tried. At least I tried, right? Maybe I will get it right next time. I think I'll get it right a lot. And like as I get more experience with it, I'll start getting it right, and then I'll have a winning record at the end. Vikings shouting Skull, yes. In terms of the quality, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like it seems like $8.99 a liter. No, it was $6.99 for a liter. I bought a liter for $6.99. Now you would think, oh, that's going to be just horrible, just an atrocity, a terrible product, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I think I saw some Calypso before. Oh, you did? Butch Willie says. Sorry, I didn't put it in the picture here. I have not seen it in Louisiana. I have not seen it in Louisiana, but I bought it in Houston, Texas, and apparently it's like a big product in Houston. It's a big Houston product, but in Louisiana, it's not known. But that's common. Texas gets a lot of things we don't get, and we get some things that they don't get. Not a lot, but we get some things that they don't get. But yeah, so that's it. See y'all tomorrow morning for Dawnbusters Taste Challenge, and we'll try it again. I hope I get it right next time. All right, bye-bye. Y'all take care now.